Unit 1. Just call me Charlie. Charley Jackson works as a bank teller. His bank has just transferred him to another branch. Listen to the conversations.
Hey, isn't that Charles Jackson, the new teller?
I think you're right.
Hi, are you Charles Jackson?
Yes, what's your name?
I'm Teresa Rivera, but everyone calls me Terry.
And I'm Larry Silver.
Nice to meet you. Just call me Charlie.
Mrs. Akbar, I'd like you to meet our new teller, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, Mrs. Akbar, our branch manager.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Well, it's about time to open.
Yes, it's 9 o'clock. Well, good luck, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Phew, I'm really tired, and now I have to go home and cook.
Do you make dinner every night?
Yes, I usually make dinner, and my roommate washes the dishes.
I live alone, so I do everything. Sometimes I eat out, though. There are some good restaurants in my neighborhood.
Where do you live?
In Highland Park. How about you?
Oh, just a few blocks from here.
Are you going jogging, Charlie?
No, I've got a soccer game tonight.
Oh, really? Do you play on a team?
Yeah, I'm on a team in the L.A. Co-ed Soccer League. Do you play any sports, Terry?
Yes, I play tennis every week.
Oh? What about you, Larry?
I'm not too interested in sports. Sometimes I watch baseball on TV. That's about all.
Now listen to the conversations again and repeat each line.
Hey, isn't that Charles Jackson, the new teller?
I think you're right.
Hi, are you Charles Jackson?
Yes, what's your name?
I'm Teresa Rivera, but everyone calls me Terry.
And I'm Larry Silver.
Nice to meet you. Just call me Charlie.
Mrs. Akbar, I'd like you to meet our new teller, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, Mrs. Akbar, our branch manager.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Well, it's about time to open.
Yes, it's 9 o'clock. Well, good luck, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Phew, I'm really tired. And now I have to go home and cook.
Do you make dinner every night?
Yes, I usually make dinner. And my roommate washes the dishes.
I live alone, so I do everything. Sometimes I eat out, though. There are some good restaurants in my neighborhood.
Where do you live?
In Highland Park. How about you?
Oh, just a few blocks from here.
Are you going jogging, Charlie?
No, I've got a soccer game tonight.
Oh, really? Do you play on a team?
Yeah, I'm on a team in the L.A. Co-ed Soccer League. Do you play any sports, Terry?
Yes, I play tennis every week.
Oh? What about you, Larry?
I'm not too interested in sports. Sometimes I watch baseball on TV. That's about all.
Hi, nice to see you again, and welcome to the new round of our English course, Level 3. Yeah, this is the first lesson of the third level. So, just call me Charlie is the title of our lesson now. Well, Charlie is a nickname which is used instead of Charles. Charley Jackson is a bank teller. His bank has transferred him to a different branch, and today is his first day on the new job. Now a little bit about the language which is used in this lesson. Charlie's co-workers introduce themselves using the phrase, "Nice to meet you." When Charles is introduced to the bank manager, they use the more formal "How do you do?" and shake hands. A nickname is an informal, shortened version of a given name. A branch is a division of a business. The branch manager is a senior official of a particular division. We heard in the conversation that Charlie was a bank teller. Teller is someone who receives and pays money in the bank, right? Now, as usual, we listen to the conversations one more time as a reinforcement of our practice and for the better understanding.
Unit 1. Just call me Charlie. Charley Jackson works as a bank teller. His bank has just transferred him to another branch. Listen to the conversations.
Hey, isn't that Charles Jackson, the new teller?
I think you're right.
Hi, are you Charles Jackson?
Yes, what's your name?
I'm Teresa Rivera, but everyone calls me Terry.
And I'm Larry Silver.
Nice to meet you. Just call me Charlie.
Mrs. Akbar, I'd like you to meet our new teller, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, Mrs. Akbar, our branch manager.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Well, it's about time to open.
Yes, it's 9 o'clock. Well, good luck, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Phew, I'm really tired, and now I have to go home and cook.
Do you make dinner every night?
Yes, I usually make dinner, and my roommate washes the dishes.
I live alone, so I do everything. Sometimes I eat out, though. There are some good restaurants in my neighborhood.
Where do you live?
In Highland Park. How about you?
Oh, just a few blocks from here.
Are you going jogging, Charlie?
No, I've got a soccer game tonight.
Oh, really? Do you play on a team?
Yeah, I'm on a team in the LA Co-ed Soccer League. Do you play any sports, Terry?
Yes, I play tennis every week.
Oh, what about you, Larry?
I'm not too interested in sports. Sometimes I watch baseball on TV. That's about all.
Now listen to the conversations again and repeat each line.
Hey, isn't that Charles Jackson, the new teller?
I think you're right.
Hi, are you Charles Jackson?
Yes, what's your name?
I'm Teresa Rivera, but everyone calls me Terry.
And I'm Larry Silver.
Nice to meet you. Just call me Charlie.
Mrs. Akbar, I'd like you to meet our new teller, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, Mrs. Akbar, our branch manager.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Well, it's about time to open.
Yes, it's 9 o'clock. Well, good luck, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Phew, I'm really tired. And now I have to go home and cook.
Do you make dinner every night?
Yes, I usually make dinner. And my roommate washes the dishes.
I live alone, so I do everything. Sometimes I eat out, though. There are some good restaurants in my neighborhood.
Where do you live?
In Highland Park. How about you?
Oh, just a few blocks from here.
Are you going jogging, Charlie?
No, I've got a soccer game tonight.
Oh, really? Do you play on a team?
Yeah, I'm on a team in the LA Co-ed Soccer League. Do you play any sports, Terry?
Yes, I play tennis every week.
Oh, what about you, Larry?
I'm not too interested in sports. Sometimes I watch baseball on TV. That's about all.
All right, let's see about our comprehension check. Say right, wrong, or I don't know. 1. The new teller's name is Charles Jackson. It is right. Of course, in part A, we see it. Yeah. Someone says, "Isn't that Charles Jackson, the new teller?" And then the same person says, "Hi, are you Charles Jackson?" And Charlie says, "Yes." Number 2. Terry Rivera is the manager of the bank. What do you think? The answer is wrong because Mrs. Akbar is the manager of the bank. Number 3. Larry Silver is married. What do you think? Yeah, the answer is I don't know. Number 4. The bank opens at 8:30. What do you think? The answer is wrong because it opens at 9. Number 5. Charlie plays on a soccer team. What is your answer? The answer is right. We can see it in part D, of course. Number 6. Terry isn't interested in sports. What is your answer? The answer is wrong because in part D, Charlie asks Terry, "Do you play any sports, Terry?" And he says, "Yes, I play tennis every week." Exercise 2 match. Number 1. Are you Charles Jackson? The answer is yes. What's your name? Number 2. How do you do? What is the answer? The answer is part D. Nice to meet you. Number 3. Where do you live? Part A. In Highland Park. Number 4. Do you play any sports? Part E. I play tennis. Number 5. Good luck. Part C. Thank you. The whole view of part of our task ahead of us. Now let's go to try this. Number 1, which says match the names with the nicknames. Then practice the conversation several times using different names. But what we want to know here is understanding different names and nicknames. We have an example. On the left side we have Richard. On the right side we have 2 nicknames for Dad. One of them is Rick, the other one is Dick, right? Now look at the other names on the left side and try to find the nicknames on the right side. Think about it for a couple of minutes, please. Alright. Now, we have Martin, right? The nickname for that is Marty, right? After that, we have Patricia. The nickname is Pat. Then Robert. What is the nickname for Robert? Bob. Okay. Then we have Christopher. The nickname for that is Chris. Elizabeth. We have 2 nicknames for this. Liz and Beth. After that, Martha. Marty is the nickname. James. The nickname is Jim. Then we have Patrick. The nickname for Patrick is Pat. Then we have Susan. We have 2 nicknames for that. Sue and Susie. Then we have Christine. Chris again is nickname for Christine. We have John. Of course, Johnny is the nickname for that. Alright, sports was also another topic of our lesson. So here we have one exercise about that. It says, here are pictures of 4 people playing sports. Using the box and the clues below, find their names. Then say which sport each person plays. In the box we have golf, ice hockey, football and soccer. So 4 pictures, 4 explanations. We should match them. One example we have. So let's read the explanations first. Chris Thomas can only play this sport in winter. Marty Jenkins needs a ball to play this sport and plays alone a lot. Pat Dobbs uses a ball to play this sport, but the ball isn't round. Lee Howard uses a round ball for this sport and runs a lot. So we have one example. The first picture is answered for us. Pat Dobbs plays football. Now let's think a little bit about the rest. Okay, on the top, on the right side, right? What sport is that? It's ice hockey. So Chris Thomas plays ice hockey. We go down to the left side, right? We can say Lee Howard plays soccer, and then on the right side Marty Jenkins plays golf. Charley Jackson stops by to pick up his friend Steve Kovacs. They are both going to play in a soccer game tonight. Steve owns Steve's Foreign Auto Repair, a repair shop for fixing the foreign cars. Now we listen in and see what they talk about.
Page 6. I know what you mean. Charley Jackson is picking up his friend Steve Kovacs. They're going to a soccer game. Steve owns a foreign auto repair shop. 1. Comprehension Dialog. Listen to the conversation.
Come on, Steve, it's time to go.
Wait a minute. I just have to close up the shop.
Okay.
Listen, can we give my sister a ride home tonight?
Sure. You mean Eva's coming to the game?
Yeah. She wants to take some pictures. She's really interested in photography.
Oh? Does she want to be a photographer?
Uh-huh. She'd like to work for a newspaper.
That sounds like an interesting job.
I think so, too. But a lot of people want to be photographers. There's so much competition.
I know what you mean. There's a lot of competition in sports, too. I wanted to be a professional soccer player, but now I work in a bank.
Well, you've got to eat. Hello. Steve's Foreign Auto Repair.
Alright, comprehension dialogue requires comprehension check 2. Say right, wrong, or I don't know. Number 1, Charlie and Steve both play soccer. The answer is right. How do we know? Because on the top of the page it's written exactly like that. Yeah. Number 2, Charlie has a sister named Eva. What do you think? The answer is wrong, because Eva is Steve's sister. Alright. Number 3. Eva is having dinner at home before the soccer game. What is your answer? I don't know is the answer. No information about this. Number 4. Charlie works in a bank. The answer is right, because he says, but now I work in a bank. Number 5. Eva wants to be a photographer. What do you think? Yeah, the answer is right. Because Charlie says, does she want to be a photographer? And Steve says, she'd like to work for a newspaper. Number 6. Charlie wanted to be a photographer. What do you think? The answer is wrong, because Charlie says, I wanted to be a professional soccer player. Yeah, this is the point. Now let's go to listen in part. And listen in to.
3. Listen in. A man calls Steve about his car. Read the statements below. Then listen to the conversation and choose A or B.
Hello. Steve's Foreign Auto Repair.
Hello, my name's Sam Young. Is my car ready?
Let me see. Is that spelled Y-O-U-N-G?
No, it's Y-U-N-G.
Okay. It's ready, Mr. Young.
When can I pick it up?
Anytime from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Which is the correct answer? 1. The man's name is A. Young, Y-O-U-N-G. B. Young, Y-U-N-G. 2. Steve's repair shop is open A. from 8 to 6, B. from 6 to 8.
Okay, so number 1, the man's name is Y-O-U-N-G or Y-U-N-G? B is correct. So number 2, Steve's repair shop is open from 8 to 6 or 6 to 8. Which one? Part A is correct. From 8 to 6.
4. Say it right. Practice this conversation. First, listen to the conversation.
Archie, this is Charley Jackson.
Hi, Charlie.
And this is Margaret.
Hi, Margaret. Nice to meet you.
Now listen to the conversation again and repeat each line.
Archie, this is Charley Jackson.
Hi, Charlie.
And this is Margaret.
Hi, Margaret. Nice to meet you.
Now, a very practical stage of our work. Your turn. Archie Baxter is a new mechanic at Steve's repair shop. He introduces himself to Margaret Morelli, another mechanic, and they talk about where they live and about sports. Act out the conversation. You're all familiar with this kind of exercise, right? So step by step we do it together. On the left side, for Archie we have Archie says hi and asks if she's Margaret Morelli. When we convert it to conversation, we say, hi, are you Margaret Morelli? Then we go to the right side. For Margaret, she says she is and asks his name. So Margaret says, yes, what's your name? Then about Archie, tells her name. Archie says, Archie Baxter. Then to the right side, Margaret says, it's nice to meet him, says to call her Maggie. In the conversation forum, Margaret says, nice to meet you, just call me Maggie. Then we go to the left side. Archie says it's nice to meet her. So Archie in the conversation form says it's nice to meet you. On the other side, Maggie asks where he lives. So she says, where do you live? For Archie we have this information. He says he lives on Clifford Street across from the park. In the conversation he says, I live on Clifford Street across from the park. Then about Margaret we have this information. She says she lives near the park too, says she and her husband play tennis there, asks if he plays any sports. So we turn it like this into a conversation form. Oh, I live near the park too. My husband and I play tennis there. Do you play any sports, Archie? Then on the left side, for Archie, we have this. Archie says he doesn't, but watches hockey and basketball on TV. So, in an active form, Archie says, no, I don't, but I watch hockey and basketball on TV. Now time to talk a bit about grammar. We have simple present, affirmative statements. Previously we spoke about it. We said that simple present was used to describe habits, unchanging situations, general facts, and fixed arrangements, the things that are repeated more than once, right? It can be about a job, it can be about sports, it can be about daily routines, and things like this. We have an example in the box on the left side. I make dinner. As you can see, first we have the subject, the verb, and the object. This is a basic form of a sentence, right? This is correct in case of every sentence. If you look at the forms of the verb, make, clean, wash, for the subjects I, you, we, and they, we notice that they are different when conjugated with subjects he and she. So for he we have makes, the pronunciation of s is s. Then for clean we have cleans. The pronunciation changes from s to z. Then for wash we have washes. Another change in pronunciation. So these are differences in pronunciations, in the third person singular. When a verb ends in sh, ch, x, s, and things like this, then the pronunciation changes and the spelling also changes. S turns into es. We have some pictures of some people and some information under each picture about each person. So about Jim we have Emily and I make breakfast, I make dinner. About Judy, I clean the house. About Emily, I wash the dishes. Tom and I set the table. We also sweep the floor. About Tom, we have I do the laundry. Now the exercise says Jim and Judy Smith and their children Emily and Tom all have regular household chores. Play the role of Jim and tell a friend who does what. Use the information under the pictures. We have an example. Emily and I make breakfast every morning and the rest, using the grammar point we had just now. Now we have the same tense, simple present, negative statements. So in negative form, we add don't and doesn't to the sentence before the main verb. We can see examples here. I don't wash the dishes. You don't wash the dishes. We don't wash the dishes. They don't wash the dishes. Don't is the contraction of do not, of course. Then he doesn't wash the dishes. She doesn't wash the dishes. Doesn't is the contraction of does not, certainly. Now the instruction says, now read these statements about Jim's family and correct them. Example number 1. Judy does the laundry. The answer is Judy doesn't do the laundry. Tom does the laundry, based on the information that we have under each picture. Now the next point. Simple present, yes, no questions, and short answers. We spoke about it previously, that yes, no questions were the ones, the answers of which were with either yes or no, right? So we have an example. Do you do the laundry? Do they do the laundry? Does he do the laundry? Does she do the laundry? So to make a question for, we just need to put do and does before the subject of the sentence. For example, without do and does, our sentence was you do the laundry, they do the laundry, right? But we add do, to the sentence, do you do the laundry? We have a question form. For he and she, of course, does is used instead of do. Does he, does she. So, do you do the laundry? Yes, I do. Do they do the laundry? No, they don't. Or yes, they do. Does he do the laundry? Yes, he does. Or no, he doesn't. Does she do the laundry? Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. Okay? Now, let's see what we can do with the exercise. Number 3. Play the role of Jim Smith again and answer questions about housework. Another student will ask the questions using the words below. Number 1, example. You, laundry. The answer. Do you do the laundry, Jim? No, I don't. Tom does the laundry. So the answers are based on the information that we had above. Now, simple present information questions. These are the sorts of questions, the answers of which must be with some information, some explanation, right? For example, the example says, do you live around here? If you want to answer it, you can say, or we can say, yes, I live around here, or no, I live far away, somewhere else. As you can see, yes and no are used in answering this. So, yes, no question is this one. Now, the other one. Where do you live? Here, we have to explain more, yeah? Where do you live? I live in San Antonio, Texas, for example, or I live in London, I live in Paris. We have to explain, right? We have to give some information. This is information question. In the frame, we have some information to be used to answer the exercise. The Smiths live in Washington. Jim teaches high school there. Judy works on K Street. She takes the subway to work. All right? So let's see what we can do. Good work.
Lesson 6. Survey. How do you relax in your free time? Here are a few examples of how people responded to this week's survey question. According to the answers, people's leisure time activities are as varied as their jobs. Some are typical, some unusual. Listen as you read the survey. Jeffrey Knight, Advertising Manager, Today Magazine.
I work in a very busy department. Hectic, actually. I started scuba diving this year and I love it. It's really beautiful underwater. Why do I like it? Well, I'm always very rushed and tense at work. But when I dive, everything is so peaceful. Everything moves slowly and it's completely quiet. I go diving about twice a month. On the other weekends, I usually stay home and work in my garden.
Mary Jo Parker, mother of Ryan and Derek Parker.
Sweet home? Oh, a sweet home. I have 2 little boys. Ryan is 4 and Derek is 2. And my husband often works overtime. When he works nights and weekends, I have to do all the housework and take care of the kids by myself. Sometimes I watch a video in the evening after the boys go to sleep. But usually, I just fall asleep when I do.
Edith Sharton, former English teacher.
I'm retired now, so I have a lot of spare time. I like to go to the community center and play bingo about 4 times a week. My grandchildren think it's funny that I play bingo so often. They call me lucky. Well, sometimes I win and sometimes I lose. But I always have a good time.
Yuki Yamsagawa, Move It.
I work for a moving company and carry heavy furniture all week, so I hardly ever do anything on the weekend, except paint. It's very relaxing. I prefer to paint portraits. Sometimes I walk to the park on Saturday or Sunday and paint the people I see there. I'd like to be a professional artist, but I can't make a living that way.
Now this is us and the comprehension questions. Let's see how we answer them. Who does the housework in your house on your own tells us and asks us this question. Some people are talking about housework. Ben Santini, computer programmer. My wife and I share the housework. We do a lot of the work together, like cooking meals and washing the dishes. I always wash the windows by myself, though. She hates to do that. Melissa Haritos, student. My parents do most of it, but my brother and I help. We make our beds in the morning and do the dishes after supper. I also vacuum the floors sometimes. I think it's a lot of fun. John Taylor, business executive. I'm a bachelor, so I have to do everything myself. But I travel a lot, so there usually isn't much housework to do. Jan Levin, taxi driver. I hate housework. It's boring. But my husband works at home during the day, so he does most of it. I'm really lucky. He can't stand to work in a dirty house. Pete Jenkins, construction worker. My wife doesn't work. She does all the housework during the week. I try to help out on the weekends. Our kids are still too young to do any of it. But things are a little easier now because we just bought a dishwasher. Jane Alvarez, retired nurse. Now that we are retired, we do all the housework ourselves. I think I do more housework than my husband, but then he always mows the lawn and takes care of the yard. Alright, so these were what these people told us. Now let's see what exercise 1 and exercise 2 have for us. Exercise 1 says, read the article and then say right, wrong, or I don't know. Exercise 2, fill in an appropriate word from the article. Let's think about it for a while. Okay, exercise 1, number 1. Ben Santini does the housework alone. It is wrong, but how do we know it is wrong? Because he says, my wife and I share the housework. Number 2, Melissa Haritos enjoys vacuuming. What do you think? The answer is right because she says, I think it's a lot of fun. Number 3, John Taylor isn't married. What is your answer? That's true because he says, I'm a bachelor. Number 4, Jan Levin's husband likes to work in a clean house. What is your answer? Right, because she says he can't stand to work in a dirty house. Number 5, Pete Jenkins helps with the housework when he comes home from work. What do you think? The answer is wrong. But why is it wrong? Because he says, my wife doesn't work, so she does all the housework during the week. Number 6, Jane Alvarez doesn't like to work outdoors. What do you think? The answer is, I don't know. Okay, exercise 2. Fill in an appropriate word from the article. Number 1. He is not married, he is a bachelor. Number 2. I hate housework, I can't blank to do it. What should we say? I can't stand to do it. Number 3. We don't work anymore, we are both retired. Number 4. My husband and I blank the housework. We do everything together. So, my husband and I share the housework. Number 5. My family never helps me with the dishes. I always do them by what? By myself.
A communicative course in English. Unit 1. Exercise 1. Follow the conversation. Mark the box next to the sentence you hear. 2 co-workers think they see someone they know.
Is that Rachel Marks?
I think it is. Do you know her?
Yes, we're on the same baseball team.
Oh, really?
Yes, we play every weekend. What about you? Do you play any sports?
No, I'm not really interested in sports.
Exercise 2. Match the picture with the conversation you hear. Choose A or B. 1.
What do you do, Ann?
I work in a bank.
Are you a teller?
No, I'm the branch manager.
2. Do you play any sports, Ken?
No, I'm not too interested in sports, but I watch soccer on TV.
3.
Do you make dinner every night?
Yes, and I wash the dishes, too. I live alone, so I have to do everything.
4.
Where do you live?
A few blocks from the park.
Do you go jogging in the park?
No, but I play tennis there.
6. Listen to the conversations. Then answer the questions using short answers. 1.
Who's that?
Patricia Olivares. Everyone calls her Patty.
2.
What do you want to do tonight?
I have to stay home and write some letters.
I think I will too.
3.
Do you live alone?
No, I have a roommate. 4.
Are you interested in sports?
I don't play any sports, but I watch baseball on TV every week.
5.
Where does he live?
Around the corner, across from the post office.
6.
Who's that?
The new teller. They just transferred him to our branch.
7.
What are you doing tomorrow?
The laundry. I do it every Saturday.
8.
Is it time to open?
No, we'll open in 10 minutes at 9.
9.
Do you usually stay home on the weekend?
No, I have to stay home Monday through Thursday. So on the weekend, I like to go out.
10.
I don't like soccer. How about you?
I love it. In fact, I play on a team.
A very practical exercise to improve our conversational skills. Find the best answer for each question, then write the question and answers as a conversation. Number 1. What are you going to do after work, Richard? Part C is the answer. I have to make dinner for my family. Alright, I guess you're ready now. Number 2. Really? Do you make dinner every night? Part E. No, just on Tuesdays and Thursdays. 3. By the way, do you like to watch football on TV? Part A. Yes, sometimes. Number 4. Do you want to watch the game Wednesday night? Part D. Sure, that sounds good. Let's watch it at my house. 5. Fine. Where do you live? Part B. I live a few blocks from here. Look at the pictures. Write a formal introduction for the first picture and an informal introduction for the second picture. Gregory Thompson started a new job this week at IBA Computer Company. He also joined the company baseball team. So, under the picture we have this information. Catherine Leary is the Director of Personnel. She's introducing Gregory to the President, Norman Pierce. Example. Catherine, Mr. Pierce, I'd like you to meet Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, Mr. Pierce, our President. Norman, how do you do, Mr. Thompson? Gregory, how do you do, Mr. Pierce? Now the other exercise, and under the picture we have this information. Robert Jackson is a captain of the company baseball team. He sees a new player on the baseball field. He asks him if he is Gregory Thompson. Robert. What should Robert say, do you think? Hi, are you Gregory Thompson? Gregory. Yes, what's your name? Robert. I'm Robert Jackson, but everyone calls me Bob. Gregory. Nice to meet you. Just call me Greg. 5. Read the conversation, then complete the exercise below. David's inviting Doc to a baseball game. Let's see what they say first. Hello, Doc. This is David. Hi, David. How are you? Fine. Listen, I have an extra ticket for the baseball game tomorrow. Do you want to go with me? Well, I don't know. Tomorrow's Saturday. I always clean the apartment and do the laundry on Saturday. Who's playing? The San Francisco Giants and the LA Dodgers. Hey, that sounds like a terrific game. Okay, I'll go. What time does it start? 2 o'clock. Let's go in my car. I'll pick you up around 1:15. Great. Thanks a lot, David. See you tomorrow. Bye. Now we continue the same exercise this way. Copy the sentences that have the correct information, rewrite the sentences that have the incorrect information. So, number 1. David has an extra ticket for a football game. David has an extra ticket for a baseball game. So we correct it like this. Number 2. The game is on Saturday. What do you think? Do we need to correct it? Or it is correct? Yeah, it is correct, in fact. Number 3. The game is in the evening. What do you think? Should we correct it? Sure, we should correct it. The game is in the afternoon. Number 4. Dog cleans his apartment every Saturday. What do you think? Is it correct? Yes, it is correct. We don't need any change. Number 5. David doesn't know Doc's address. What is your suggestion? Yes, it is wrong, of course. David knows Doc's address. Number 6. They're going to take the bus to the game. What do you think? It is wrong. They are going to drive to the game. 7. The Giants are a baseball team. What do you think? Is it correct, or we should correct it? Yeah, it is correct. We don't need to change it. Okay? Okay, guys. Now you're all familiar with this kind of exercise, which says act out the conversation with another student. Take the part of student A or student B. We have some information in 2 boxes to play roles. Yeah, we need 2 people. So this is yours, in fact. So, well, it's a practical exercise, and it should be done practically by you. We should play roles, in fact. But let's read the information. Let's see what we have. Student A. Find a student you don't know very well and introduce yourself. Give your nickname if you have one. Then start a conversation. For example, find out where student B lives or what student B does. Student B. Introduce yourself to student A. Give your nickname if you have one. Then find out where student A is from or where student A lives. Let me give an answer for an example, right? So, I am student A, for example. Hello, I'm Theodore, but everyone calls me Ted. Where do you live, by the way? Then the other student answers and says, hi, my name is Robert, but everyone calls me Bob, and I live 2 blocks away from here. Then student A says, in fact, I say as student A, what do you do, Bob, by the way? Then the other person says, I'm a computer programmer, for instance. So in this way, we make a practical conversation, right? It's a very practical work for us, and it improves our conversational ability very greatly. Look at the pictures, then write a sentence for each one, telling who does each household chore. Every Saturday morning, Marlene and her sister Valerie do household chores. Number 1 is an example. Marlene takes out the garbage, as we can see clearly in the picture. Let's go to picture number 2. Valerie breakfast. What can we say to complete the sentence? Valerie makes breakfast. That's right. Picture number 3. When you look at the picture, you understand what is happening. We should say, Valerie sweeps the kitchen floor. Number 4. Look at the picture. What is she doing? Valerie does the laundry. That's right. Picture number 5. What is she doing? Marlene washes the dishes. Good. Number 6. What's happening there? Look at the picture. Marlene and Valerie clean the apartment together. Alright, exercise 9. Use the words below to write questions about Marlene and Valerie. Then answer them. Example number 1. Marlene dishes. We have 2 words, right? So, what question can we make? Does Marlene wash the dishes? Yes, she does. We make questions and answers using the information in the previous exercise. Number 2. Valerie garbage. What do you think we should say? Based on the information we had from exercise 8. Does Valerie take out the garbage? No, she doesn't. Marlene takes out the garbage. Good. Number 3. Valerie floor. What should we say? Does Valerie sweep the floor? The answer is yes, she does. That's correct. Number 4. Marlene and Valerie laundry together. What question can we make? Do Marlene and Valerie do the laundry together? And the answer, what is the answer based on exercise 8? No, they don't. Valerie does the laundry. Okay. Last but not least, because it's very important too, writing is an important part of our lives. It says complete the letter with the missing verbs. Let's see what we can do together. Dear Pete, I like Los Angeles very much. It's sunny every day, and there are so many things to do. I go swimming every morning before work, and I play tennis on the weekends. I live just a few miles from the office, so sometimes I ride my bicycle to work. I really like my new job. The work is interesting, and the people are terrific. But I'm tired after work. I never make dinner. I always eat at a restaurant during the week. On the weekends, I do all my household chores. I clean the apartment and do the laundry. Well, I have a baseball game tonight, or we can also say, well, I'm going to a baseball game tonight, so I'll say goodbye. See you soon, Jeff. Now write your own letter. Tell a friend some of the things you do each week. So use your imagination. You can write everything you really do, or you can write things in an imaginary way. May be real or may not be real. It doesn't matter. What matters most is that you write. Alright folks, it's been as usual, very nice being with you, talking to you and working with you as we just started the 3rd level of our journey into the English language learning world. See you next time. Goodbye.